on Wagner Road.
A good
Then turn right
amount
onto
of
Odessa Telegraph
celebrity
Road.
charity golf outings. You had the Jalen
At the
Rose
stop
outing
sign,
at the Detroit
turn right.
Golf Club to raise money for Jalen Rose.
In half a mile, turn right onto
Leadership
South
Academy.
Telegraph Road.
I've played in that before. It's a great event. Gibby had his Parkinson's fundraising golf tournament. I think Tom Izzo was there, I believe. His buddy Boomer David Wells was in town. And I participated in the Hank Greenberg tournament, which I do every year. It gives money for cancer research, Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation. Obviously, Hank Greenberg, arguably with maybe Sandy Koufax, the greatest Jewish baseball player of all time. Of course, he played here in Detroit, and a lot of the people a lot older than me, the Jewish people that age who grew up here, Hank Greenberg was their idol. There were very few, and still are, Jewish professional baseball players. So every year they have a tournament, to raise money, and they bring in a Hall of Famer.
At the next light, turn right.
And this year, it was Goose Gossage. It was supposed to be last year. And it was kind of ironic that Goose was the guest the same day as Kirk
At the light,
Gibson's
turn
wedding.
right onto South
Because
Telegraph
under
Road.
normal circumstances, Gibby would have probably come to this one as well, just, for the old, reminiscent. And I did find out later that they did hook up on the night before.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, like a private dinner with some donors and things like that. Anyway, so Goose spoke. And by the way, Jeremy Schaap, of course, is ESPN. His father, Dick Schaap, was really good friends with Hank Greenberg. And Dick Schaap, who passed away, as you know, was a big proponent of this tournament, and he would help. So there's a Dick Schaap Memorial Media Award, and it was supposed to go this year to Armin Katayan, who, of course, is a writer, TV producer, all that stuff, who's from Birmingham. But he got stuck in New York because of the hurricanes. He couldn't get out. So anyway, so Jeremy Schaap was there. And Goose and Jeremy, well, usually when he's there, if not, I'll do it, but interviews the award winner. And this time it was Goose Gossage. He told, great stories about the Yankees. And he went on and on. And, I said, wait a second, enough about the Yankees. We're in Detroit, and finally somebody asked, can you talk about the home run Gibby gave up to you? And he had, a great story where, the catcher, Terry Kennedy, put up the 4, to his chest, and
shook him off.
Shook him off. Put it up 3 times, shook him off, and then Dick Williams came out, and we all know from the video, and Sparky, you don't want to walk here, and his rationale was because he goes, I owned Kirk Gibson.
Yeah.
I had amazing success against him, and he thought it would continue, and obviously it did. So afterwards, Goose was really, really good, taking pictures, signing stuff, and just talking with people. So I was with one of my friends who I contend that, and I've asked AJ Hinch about this, and I think Leland, not yesterday, but the last time we had him, about the shift in baseball. I said it's kind of, ruined the game for a lot of people because it's, everybody tries to hit the ball over the shift. And so and Goose was talking about how he hates analytics.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, okay, that means you hate the shift. So I said, so Goose, tell me about, what do you think about the shift? Is it ruining the game? He looked at me, he goes, you don't know what the F you're talking about. This shift, we've always had shift. Back in the day, Boog Powell. You remember Boog Powell? Big guy, 4 straight times. That fat piece of crap would just bunt the ball. That's all you have to do. You throw the bat, throw the ball, and you run. I'm sorry. And he was going crazy at how the game, it's so easy to beat the shift. You won't even have a shift. If you have a shift, you just hit the ball a little bit down the third base line.
Yeah.
Why can't they do that? No. And then he was going on with the, pitch counts and things like that.
Yeah.
And I get that. And I always said, it's not as easy to do as people think, but the old
Continue
times,
on to
all those
North
guys
Telegraph
used to get
Road.
away, and that's why there was no shift, because the players could hit the opposite way, and today they don't. So, and he said, I don't even watch anymore. Because baseball just sucks.
Get off my lawn. Get off
And
my
it's
lawn.
like,
Back when I played.
Yeah. He goes, guys like Lolis would pitch 300 innings. You didn't worry about. He goes, I don't understand. Guys, for me, I started getting stronger as the season went on. The more you pitched, your arm strength got better. Now, they just take guys out for no reason, and they still get injuries. Probably more injuries now than they did before, and it went on and on and on. So the question I have is, does baseball suck? And how do you
2.4
change it?
miles,
If you
turn left
think
onto
it
Dixie
sucks?
Highway.
I don't think it sucks. I do think
It's different. It's different than it used to be. And different doesn't mean it's bad. It may be bad to some people.
Right.
But other people like the fact that hitters are doing one thing, so defenses have found a way to adjust. Now it's up to the hitters to adjust. Like Goose is saying, then lay down a bunt or, learn to hit the opposite way. If you don't like what's happening and you want to change it, then change what you do. Attack their weakness.
yeah.
And there's so many times where, and it doesn't matter the sport, and for me it's obviously football, and I look and I say, I don't like what's going on now, whether it's the quality of offensive line play or it's some of the offenses or it's the defenses and the fact that they're dropping guys in pass coverage, and it's going to change. Like, that's what happens, and you have to find a way to change what you're doing to take advantage of those changes.
Right. Don't you think, though, that if it was as easy as Goose Gossage was saying, where, big tubs of crap, I'll be polite, he said, like Boog Powell.
Yeah.
And you look up Boog Powell if you're too young to know who Boog Powell is. Big, burly guy. Not exactly fleet of foot. If it's that easy for him to have done it, why wouldn't this stuff get taught, and why wouldn't today's managers do it when they know that, 8 times out of 10, these guys, some other guys, if they don't get the ball out of the infield, they're hitting into this shift. Attack it, so the team can't shift. I don't understand why that doesn't happen. So I'm on his side with that. Why is it?
I don't know. Well, because everybody wants to swing for the fences.
Yeah, but that's the manager's responsibility, right?
But this is everything now because of the money involved. The players run the show. The managers, yes, they are there, and you can try and convince some of the players to do things a different way. But if they don't want to, they're going to do what has gotten them there. And so for some of them, it's being able to hit the long ball. And it's, if you're going to make big money, it's about being able to hit the long ball right now.
Well, if you're coming up in the minors, correct me if I'm wrong, they're playing the shift in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
So shouldn't you be taught in the minor leagues then, if you haven't already, to go the other
Stoney,
way?
I think that's where it's at right now. There has to be a commitment, and maybe you'll see one team try to do this with their farm system to start going back old school and hitting the right way.
Yeah.
Until somebody does that, it's not going to change.
Right, you're going to have somebody have really good success as a hitter,
Right.
and of being able to lay down a bunt down the opposite field line,
Right.
or
At the
just
next
simply
light,
check
turn
up on the
left.
bat and hit down
Right.
the other
Checks.
checks. Do whatever you have to do to get
Right.
it done.
Exactly.
But then what happens is, because they put the shift on for most guys, but not everybody.
Correct.
And so what happens
At the
is,
light,
sorry, Kevin,
use
I
the
don't mean to
left
keep
two lanes
interrupting
to
you, but
turn
you've
onto
got to be
Dixie
able to
Highway.
beat the shift, and then you also have to be good enough to be, to be a regular hitter, and not just be a guy that can beat the shift.
Right.
I'm on the record, I hate it. I hate the shift, and I said they should ban it, and they should put some sort of line where
Turn
you
left.
cannot cross it.
I'd love to see you and Goose go at it.
And look, it's not going to happen.
Right.
I've been saying this for 5 years.
In 13 miles, turn right onto
They're
Oak
not
Hill
going to ban
Road.
the shift. They're not. So players have to learn to hit the opposite field again. And if they don't, it's just going to stay the way it is. I don't think the game sucks. I mean, I told you guys yesterday it was a struggle trying to wait for Miggy to come up, because it gets so boring at times. And the one thing cool about the Tigers this year, and that's why I think people are excited, is because they actually are playing a little old school baseball.
Right.
There's a lot of strategy to base running and things like that just go by the wayside now, and it's just like, hey, let's get up there and swing for the fences, and if not, I strike out. I mean, it shouldn't be so either home run or strikeout.
Right.
That's what's hurting the game right now.
Well, but you got a guy like Badu who seems to be able to do that, but if he was more adept even at bunting, there's no way you're going to shift.
Look at one of the favorite wins of the year was when he scored on the bunt.
Yes.
Yes.
And that is 1980s baseball that I grew up with.
I know.
You don't see that anymore. But for that's why I think people got a little excited about the Tigers this year. But I just think in general, player control and what John's talking about, it's, you know, what happened to the coaches saying this is the way it's going to be, and if you don't do it, well, then you're going to sit the bench. And these players just have control now. I go back to what Leland said years ago when I proposed that Porcello became the closer.
Right.
And he actually thought that was a good idea, which I was stunned by because I thought I might be out there on a crazy island. But the big problem with Kitsap was he won't do that. What? I'm the coach. I can do whatever the heck I want to win.
Right.
But Porcello wouldn't do it because it would hurt his value because he was coming up on a contract.
Right, and so what happens is if you ask me to do something here that is going to affect my stats, it's going to affect, then I'll in free agency, I'll go somewhere else where I'll get paid to do what I'm doing. And I don't have to make that adjustment. That's the thing, is nobody has to make those adjustments anymore.
But how many of the... There are a lot of players who aren't hitting 35, 40 home runs. Most of baseball players aren't. And they should be able to, do what Goose says he should be able to do. Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. Does baseball, as Goose Gossett say, suck? Do you change it? And I'm not talking about the pace of the play. We've talked about that 8,000 times. But just, strategy and things like that. Give us a buzz or a ticket text. We appreciate it. Want to get away, relax, have a great time? The D Las Vegas has everything for you. They take all the necessary precautions to make sure your stay is safe. And the rooms are fabulous. Best bang for your buck. Very inexpensive. They got great food there. Joe Vicari's on the Italian Steakhouse. They have Murky Coney Island for something more casual. If you want to golf when you're in Vegas, well, they'll get you great tee times on all the courses. They have a new sports bar. You got Bar Canada there. And, of course, there is the Long Bar itself where you watch the games, have a great time. And Derek Stevens, the owner, hangs out. Tell him we sent you. He just might get you a cocktail. Vegas, lots of energy, lots of fun. You have a blast. We love it when we go there. We're going back in October. So book your room today. Go to thed.com. That's thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Las Vegas. 97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. 94 eastbound remains closed at Metro Parkway due to an earlier accident. Backups continue from before Shook Road, and there's also quite a bit of westbound slowdowns as well. Also, the entrance ramp from Shook Road to 94 eastbound is closed. You can use Gratiot Avenue to get around it. The COVID vaccine is safe, effective, and trusted by experts. Find yours at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine or call 211. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
A station where your opinion matters.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-899-GOLD to get your free investment guide. Is it just a coincidence that the day before Kathy Hochul became the new governor of New York, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell declared at the Jim Kelly Celebrity Golf Classic, I think a new stadium is what's needed for the Buffalo Bills. The Empire State's new chief executive hails from Buffalo, and negotiations among the city, Erie County, the state, and the Bills will be tricky. I think it's going to require a public-private partnership, Goodell said. The question is, how much do taxpayers want to subsidize billionaire owners Terry and Kim Pagula? Goodell deemed it very important for the Bills to stay in Buffalo. And again, he also said it was important for the Rams to stay in St. Louis and the Chargers in San Diego. Can't wait to see where this goes and how much it costs. I'm Boomer Esiason.
If you're like most people, you're probably more than a little bit concerned about the state of the world around us today. Strange times. The stock market, all-time highs every day. U.S. debt, never been higher than right now. Dollars losing value. And let's not forget about inflation, the highest since 2008. Remember what happened back in 2008. So how do you protect your money, your retirement, your savings? Well, a lot of people like you and me are turning to Old Faithful to protect themselves during these difficult times. Real gold and silver from the Oxford Gold Group. The kind you can actually hold in your hands and have in your IRA. There is no better time than the present to protect your future and the future of your family. So call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-899-GOLD. They'll send you their free guide on investing in gold and silver and answer all of your questions. Protect your money before things get even worse out there. Call Oxford Gold today at 833-899-GOLD. Oxford is here to help you protect your savings and your retirement. Again, 833-899-GOLD.
Now's a great time to get a new set of wheels during our end of summer sales event. Hi friends, Bill Nally here for Nally Kia Madison Heights, telling you about some of the great values we have. Qualified buyers can lease a 2021 Kia Sportage LX front-wheel drive for just $199 a month. Leases for 36 months, 10,000 miles a year with 3,000 due at signing. We have a limited selection to choose from with more on the way. So come visit our new dealership on 14 Mile Road east of the Oakland Mall in Madison Heights. Remember, we want to see you at Golland Kia. Check us out online at gollandkia.com.
All right, so listen, FanDuel Sportsbook, baseball, tie game, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, these high leverage moments, well, they're offering you a risk-free first-time bet. New users get up to $1,000 back in site credit. Your first bet doesn't win. Once you have an account, you'll have access to same-game parlay insurance all season long. It's up to $25 back in site credit each day. If your same-game parlay fails and falls one bet short. I mean, boosted odds, better live odds, better customer service. It's the best sports book in the game. It's FanDuel. You can sign up right now, FanDuel Sportsbook. Promo code TICKET. And they got a new promo live that starts tomorrow, $5 Dinger Tuesdays. Place a $25 or more wager on any player to hit a home run on a Tuesday. You get a $5 bonus every home run hit in the game. FanDuel Sportsbook promo code TICKET. Gotta be 21 and up, present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. First risk-free bet. Refund issued is non-withdrawable. Site credits expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Pick up the damn phone and call 1-800-270-7117 and complete terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Buddy's Pizza, the birthplace of the original Detroit-style pizza, is proud to celebrate 75 years in the Motor City. Download Buddy's Rewards from your app store today to receive exclusive offers and earn points on purchases at all 19 Buddy's Pizza locations.
What are you waiting for? It only takes an hour for you to have your child's heart screened. Get your kid's heart checked at the Ernst Cardiovascular Center at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak. Details at 971theticket.com. Radio.com is now Odyssey. Download the Odyssey app and listen to 97.1 The Ticket and all the sports, news, music, and podcasts that move you. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Chanson.
97.1 The Ticket. Coming up later in the program, we'll go to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Talk to Rick Thorning, the head coach of the Taylor North Little League, and what they've been doing. This comfortable line victory yesterday. This 3.5-hour rain delay, too. Yesterday was also a lot of celebrity golf tournaments around town. I was at the Hank Greenberg talking about the conversation I had and his talk. The Goose Gossage, baseball sucks. And says they don't need to abolish the shift. When we get teams to stop shifting, just bump the ball or put the ball down the line. And Boone Powell could do it. Anybody could do it, basically. That's to be kind, because it's kind of basically a big fat.
Yes, but nobody remembers Boone Powell.
Well, that's right.
Well, but even then, like,
He was really good.
okay, but is he known for bunting?
No, not at all. He's a slugger.
Right. So, but that's the thing is, like, if you're going to be the guy that bucks the system and beats the system right now and you bunt, you're going to be known as the guy that bunted. And it's just, I mean, in a day of social media and all of these things, like, you don't want to be known as the bunter.
Right. But the key is, the reason you do that is so the team won't be shifted.
I agree. I understand that. But, nobody's going to say, oh, like, if you're a prospect right now, right? Mike Stone.
Yeah.
And at 22 years old, they're not going to label you because you can bunt as the guy that beat the ship. Like, that changed the game. It's.
But if you can do
But what I'm saying is, like, in this day and age, that doesn't entice players to do that, because it's the home runs. It's the walk-off home runs. It's being able to be the slugger, not the guy that finds a way to win. That's just not what sells.
Winning's just not important.
Well,
I know.
It's not as mastering your craft and winning isn't as important as
All right, to play the flip
your
side.
own brand.
To play the flip side of this, okay, you'd rather almost say, all right, go ahead, Boone Powell, bunt all the time. That way you're not hitting a home run either.
Yeah, you're not going to do that, but yes, ideally the ultimate baseball player is the one that can. If you're going to shift on me,
Everything.
I'm going to be able to hit it down the opposite field line.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's go to 248-539-9797. Eric, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys? How's
Good.
it going?
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, with baseball, I don't think it's the sluggers that's the problem. It's the guys that aren't sluggers still trying to go for those fences. I mean, really the focus got away from making contact and knowing how to be able to hit the ball into those gaps. So then the shift doesn't even matter.
Well, you have to true. You have to get the ball out of the infield.
Yeah.
But if you're a ground ball hitter, that type of thing, and historically you hit to a certain position and they shift over to you, and you have to make the adjustment. That's what Goose and everybody's saying. Adjust to the defense.
Exactly, and I think that's been lost. I mean, really, I think probably about the lead off is about the only guy that really still focuses on that.
That's a great point. And actually, the guys who are hitting 8 and 9, they're the ones who do it too.
Yeah.
Base. Ticket text. The strategy is still in the game. It just shifted to pitching and defense opposed to sacrificing outs. If you watch Hinch and his players' usage, it's very calculated versus Leland just rolling out a lineup. It's definitely different. And also the type of player that Leland had to work with was a little different as well. He had more boppers, basically.
Yeah, and AJ Hinch right now is trying to manufacture wins.
Yes.
I mean, there's an actual science, or at least there looks like there's a science to what he's trying to do to manufacture runs and wins.
I believe that why there is a reluctance to see an adjustment to the offense is the sabermetrics say the probability of hitting a home run in a shift generates more overall team runs than players needing to beat the shift instead.
That's what I was trying to make that point at the break.
Yeah.
Is the amount of runs scored for home run swings as opposed to just trying to get a hit and maybe trying to defeat the shift. Analytics says it's still better to swing for the fences.
Right. Well, look, I mean, his example of Boog Powell is absurd because of the type of player he was. Okay. You don't want, granted, he doesn't have much speed, but even he could beat it out if there's nobody playing that side. You don't want Miggy. You don't want your home run guys bunting and going the opposite way for base hits. That's not what they get paid to do. You want them to hit the long ball.
But the reason why Miguel Cabrera is one of the greatest players ever play the game is because he can go oppo.
Right. But
People think he's the best right-handed opposite field hitting homer player in the history of the game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't always about the home runs.
No, I know, but you're not going to see Miggy bunt is what I'm saying.
Exactly, but
Yeah, because he's not going to beat it out.
the bunt thing is a little extreme.
Yes.
Bunting is, I think, needs to be part of the game more than it is. It's a nice craft to have and a good thing to have in your arsenal if you're not a home run hitter.
Right, to bunt for a base
But
hit.
the ability to go opposite field, because I'll tell you what, right now there's just more pitches outside because guys aren't willing to go with what the pitch is.
Trying.
And if you are
2 miles,
prevalent
turn right
to go
onto
the
Oak Hill
opposite
Road.
way, they'll shift you and you go the opposite way, and you're hitting the ball right to the shift.
Well, you're getting if you're willing to hit the ball opposite field on an outside pitch, they're not going to shift you eventually, and then you're going to get more pitches over the plate and inside that you can turn on. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was watching a Little League game yesterday, and the coach from Taylor said, "Go with the pitch. Don't try to pull it."
Yeah, well, that's what you're right. That's what Miggy and other players are so good at. All right, Cam, at the last word, what's going on?
Hey, Philip, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, so my buddies and I often have this conversation, and one of my buddies got a little extra insight. He found the siren. He has some minor league baseball experience, came up through the Brewers organization with Prince Fielder. And he says, these pitchers are so elite nowadays that, back in Goose Gossage and all these other guys at the time, when they were just basically throwing now, Little League speed to these hitters were able to compensate for that because they were better than the pitchers. They could pick and choose where they were going to hit the ball. Nowadays, you got pitchers throwing everywhere, all of them, from 95 to 102, and they're just so much more adept to being able to pick and choose their spots, put the ball with so much more movement up to it can't read it fast enough to be able to put the ball where they need to
Stay
beat
in the
these
middle
shifts.
lane.
That's interesting. I do think there is. I agree with the ball movement and maybe some of the velocity. But you bring up a guy like Goose, and
Yeah.
he would throw 100.
Yeah.
Use the
I mean,
right
he's
lane
got
to
what?
turn onto Oak Hill Road.
He's the exception to
Right.
that rule that's from back then.
Yes. They were saying back then, kids, when he was in the minor leagues, these guys all started as starters. They said the bullpen was where if you couldn't pitch, you ended up in the bullpen.
Yeah.
If you couldn't start. He was fortunate enough to make a great Hall of Fame
I do
career
Right out of it, yeah.
Yes.
I do think perhaps before you try to get rid of the shift or do things
Turn
with
right.
that or fix hitting and all that stuff, I do like the idea of moving the mound back a foot and seeing where that goes, because you're kind of going down the golf road right now with pitchers
1 mile,
where
turn
let's
left
say
onto
that
Oak
the
Hill
pitcher
Road.
is quote the equipment, that you're out, you're making the game almost too hard for the hitter. Just like with the distance in golf, ruining golf courses, the equipment's, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
I just think when something happens in a game, and right now we're talking about baseball, the shift, that has been the response of the defense to hitters being able to score and create offense. Now it's up to the hitters to adjust and beat the shift. They have to learn how to do it again.
Yeah. All right, coming up next, college sports, in particular college football. Looks like they're turning into an episode of Survivor. I'll explain next. Coming up, 97.1 The Ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports
Turn left
Desk.
onto Oak Hill
This
Road.
is 97.1 The Ticket.
We are brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Tigers in St. Louis for a 2-game set starting tonight. First pitch 7:45 right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Casey Mines
In
for the
half a
fight.
mile,
Jack Flaherty
the
for the
destination is on
Cardinals
your right.
is the pitching matchup.
3655
Tigers activate
Jocelyn
outfielder
Road.
Akil Baddoo. They designate pitcher Drew Hutchison for assignment. Lions getting ready for the final dress rehearsal of the preseason. That'll be Friday night at Ford Field against Indy. Not many starters expected to play for Detroit with the regular season opener the following week at home against San Francisco. Lions need to get the roster down to 80 today. Yesterday they released quarterback Jordan Ta'amu. They also say they may keep 3 quarterbacks on the active roster. The Detroit Pistons G League team, the Motor City Cruise, will hold open tryouts on September 15th at the Pistons Performance Center. The cost is $200, and Taylor North wins again at the Little League World Series, defeating Texas 6-5. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Happy Tuesday to you. 248-539-9797. Heather in studio along with John. The Governors here, Paul Sarah, taking over for Greg, who's on vacation. Like I said, 248-539-9797 is the telephone number, and we'll take your ticket text as well.
The destination is on your right. 3655 Jocelyn Road.
Months ago when it was announced that
Arrived.
Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC. Everybody's going to wonder what's next.
Yes.
The Big 12 are they going to go away? The Pac-12, the Big 10, the ACC. What's going to happen? Are they going to merge? We're going to have 4 super conferences. What's going to happen? Well, it looks like an episode of Survivor, if you've watched that show, because, ladies and gentlemen, we have an alliance.
Yes.
And the alliance will be announced today between the Big 10 and the